Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is Radio Pakistan, Planet FM 87.6, News Reviews with Nabi Baig. The first revelation to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was Iqra, means read, marking the beginning of his prophetic journey and mission. Plato, one of the great Greek philosophers, has superbly said, if a man neglects education, avoids education, he walks lame and blind to the end of his life. It highlights the importance of education. It shows how pertinent, how important, how matchless, how unparalleled, and how unavoidable education is. So today, in this very special transmission, we're going to discuss the same topic. And for this, we have very great personality with us here in studio, who is not only educationist, but he is retired armor officer as well, and he is teacher of teachers. Colonel Dr. Malik Ayub Awan. Welcome to the studio, sir.
Thank you very much.
Sir, first of all, I'd like to know from you that why education is being given so much importance, not only in every religion, but in the whole humanity as well.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I am really grateful for providing me this platform. And the topic which we are going to discuss today is highly significant. As we are well aware that the education is the foremost important factor in human's life. Helen Keller once said that the purpose of education is that we need to make good humans, not the monsters. So that is the thumb line where we can say that the purpose of education is to make the good human. Humanity is coupled with education. Education is learning, and we are well aware that the countries which are having education in abundance, they are the most, the countries are at the top line countries at the moment. And the, baseline factor is education. And of course, with the passage of time, education is developing into the technical education. And, there are different flavors as far as education is concerned. But as you said in the beginning, our Prophet said, and the Holy Quran say, Ikra. That means that is the ultimate order that we have to follow. Without education, we cannot become good human. Therefore, there's a need that the education, with the real, essence of the education, we must try to impart to the student. Only the education is not the purpose. There's a grooming part of the humanity which is coupled with education. Now, there are a lot of profiles where we can go for the education. It is digital learning, it is project-based learning. There are so many profiles. But the most important thing is that education, if it is coupled with the grooming part, our norms, our values also, merge with the educational curriculum. That would be the best part of education.
Very good. Sir, very important question. Most of the people I have come across, they are confused in the difference between education and knowledge. What's the difference between education and knowledge, and how we can relate them to one another?
It's a very good question. In fact, that is the point where we need to go for the learning. Now, education and knowledge. There are two streams, of course. Educating somebody with the knowledge, that would be the best, flavor as far as the educational curriculum is concerned. You might have seen that our government is trying their level best, that we should go for the uniform curriculum. That should be across the board, and the entire country should be following that is national curriculum. So the question which you have just asked, that is also linked with that solution of that particular problem, which is being faced at different levels. We have two streams of educational institutions. One is public sector, the other one is private sector. And as you know that currently we are having around the government schools and the public schools are more than 2,47,000 schools. In that, we have 60% those are government schools and 40% are private schools. Now, there's a need that we need to develop a curriculum which should be based on knowledge, and that should be the basic document which should be source of education. Now education is spelled out in theoretical part. Now the knowledge which is being imparted by the experienced teacher, that plays a pivotal role in order to make sure that the curriculum which has been developed must be imparted in true Latin spirit to the students.
Sir, some people say that knowledge is somewhat different. For seeking knowledge, education is not important. If you want to seek knowledge, you can have meditation, you can look at the stars at night, you can get bundles of knowledge as well. So do you think that education is important for knowledge, or without education one can acquire a lot of knowledge?
Primarily, education is learning. And without learning, you may not be able to seek the wisdom. Therefore, that is a very important line. That without knowledge, without education, you cannot seek knowledge. Before getting knowledge, you need to, for example, I'll just quote an example. You might have seen very good computer operators working on computer, but they don't have degree as far as BS computer science is concerned, or thing like that. But that is based on their experimental learning, which is again coupled with the educational learning. I would say, whatever you have asked, I would just say that obviously knowledge is one thing, but knowledge cannot be sought without education.
Without education.
Yes, that is, that these two things are directly proportional to each other.
Sir, as before you were saying that there are not only government institutions but private institutions are there as well, and you also mentioned one big figure. But despite that, sir, 26 million children in Pakistan are out of schools. Why they are out of schools, and how to bring them back to schools?
That is one of the most important questions you have just asked. As you know that if we talk about Pindi and Islamabad, 89,000 students are dropped out. They are not in schools, and they are at the age of 10 years. And you have rightly brought out the latest figure you have just given. The focus of the government, as you know, that our government is trying level best. They are providing all necessary facilities. You might have seen in the government schools, as per the latest educational policy, the books are being provided free of cost. Their education is free of cost. But unfortunately, there are far-flung areas in Balochistan, in Kashmir, in KPK, even in Punjab. The access of the schools to those students is very limited because of the few factors. One factor is that the poor parents, they don't want to send that workforce to the school. Instead, they want to utilize those kids for earning.
As bread earners.
Exactly. For earning, and they are, resultantly, they are dropped out and they don't have chances to go for those schools.
So, sir, what is the solution? Because as you rightly said that if we are going to ask a parent, okay, send your child to school, and they say he is our bread earner, and our bread is more important than his education. So, what is the solution for that?
Again, economical question, and I'm sure with the awareness, if we impart awareness to those underprivileged people, I can well understand that some stipend may be given to the students which are joining the schools. That would be indirectly supporting financially to those students. And I'm sure government is working on it. The Punjab government has already taken few steps that the students who are coming to the schools must be encouraged. They must be given incentives in terms of food, in terms of finances, in terms of those rewards which are available, and I am sure with the passage of time, the government policies, as you know, couple of decades earlier, the literacy rate was less than 30, but currently the literacy rate is 62%, which is highly encouraging. And there are profiles, for example, in the rural areas, we have only 52% literate people. In the urban areas, we have 74%. And as far as the genders are concerned, we have like 68% male are literate and 52% female are literate. And of course, the answer to your question is that we should go for more incentive to the school coming students.
Sir, does education change human behavior? If yes, definitely you will say yes, education takes part to change the human behavior, or we can say human behavior is inborn and education cannot change human behavior, because I have seen that even there are some human behaviors which we have seen or which we have read in Anglo-Saxon area, because those people, those Anglo-Saxons, they were barbarians. They used to kill people, they used to kill one another, and they were barbarians. And now still in this modern era, I don't call it modern era, but I call it postmodern era, when there is artificial intelligence is involved in this, as you know better. So how can we say that education makes us more human?
That is a point of concern. That is a basically point of concern that, as I said, Helen Keller said that the education's purpose is to make good humans, not the monsters.
Not monsters.
That is the point, that is a thumb line. We can base that our education system should be framed, or it should be, crafted in such a manner that we should go for the tolerance. Our attitude, our behavior should be molded in such a good manner that we should produce good humans. As we all say, that education is a process where we develop the human mind from point zero, and it keeps developing, and it goes to a level where they become high achiever. That is actually a methodological process. We need to go for focus on our curriculum. Curriculum is the basic document where we can, mold our policies in such a manner that our students are benefited in the most befitting manner. But at the same very time, we need to go for, as I said, for the grooming part. Now, grooming part is our moral values. Now, if we say that the people across the globe, they are concerned that the quality education has to be imparted to their wards, and that is the point where our educationists are working on it, and deliberate efforts are on. And I'm sure you might have seen that this paradigm shift, which has taken place in the recent past, is still ongoing. And you might be able to see, inshallah, in the future, that our future generation, which we call them Gen Z, they are the best generation. And we are very lucky that at the moment we have got 36% youth, which is one of the most significant center of gravity for the nation. And our youth, they are 36%, which is a very strong figure. And I am sure with the mindset they have, we will have a very good future as far as our educational platform is concerned.
Sir, modern tools are being used for education in schools, as I said that you are teacher of teachers. And how this modern technology, these modern tools change our education system, and which significant, which important change it brings in our education system?
You are asking a very, very pertinent question. Probably you have well prepared before my interview, and you are asking a very, very good question. And this question again,
I knew I have very special guests, so therefore special guests I will have to ask special questions.
That is why I'm saying that you have a couple of very good questions, and I'm very happy that this very important topic and the question you have just asked, that is actually talk of the town. That we need to have the good, available tools, and the education would only be quality education once we have the best tools of education. For example, interactive boards have been introduced in the recent past, And plenty of schools have been provided with those interactive boards. And what are the interactive boards? Those are whiteboards. Those are just digital boards. You need to just click one point, and you'll be able to impart that lesson of the day. Lesson planning, which was being done in the recent past, with the gigantic efforts and etc. Now that is available with the researches which are available on that one click. You'll be able to see the lesson planning on that interactive board. That is one of the major tool. That is a paradigm shift in the schooling system which has been introduced. And lot many schools are resorting to procure those interactive boards. Again, another very important point, that is project-based learning. Project-based learning is a tool which has been introduced in the European countries, but which has been copied by our countries as well. Now, if the student has been given one, lesson, if we base that lesson on the project, and I can assure you, rest of the class would be able to understand that topic for rest of their life. For example, neutron and the concept of neutron. The other day, one of my teachers, they were just portraying it on the board, and with the model. Once that project has been given to the student, once they come back with the best output, I can assure you the student would never be able to forget it. They will learn it once and for all.
You sagaciously highlighted positive impacts, positive changes. But I would like to ask critical question. Don't you think, sir, that these modern tools, this modern technology diminishes our mindset? It makes us lethargic? Because, for example, if I would like to simplify my question, I'm your student, you are my teacher, you are going to give me a home assignment, okay, write an essay, 500 words essay on modern technology. And what I will do, I will ask to Chat GPT, please generate 500 words essay on modern technology, and within few seconds I will get the answer, I will get the automatic reply over from there, and I will present it to you tomorrow. So it will diminish my thinking, it will minimize my capability. So don't you think this is a negative impact on our mindset?
Again, a very pertinent question. Primarily,
and I have seen not only students but teachers doing this.
That's the point. In fact, this artificial intelligence, it has played a very pivotal role in order to make sure that the human minds are being replaced. That is one of the, that is one perception. But having said all this, I would disagree with this myth. The point is, human mind is a classical mind. It has got variety of thinking. It has got, artificial intelligence. There's a lot of talk on that. There's a lot of discussion on that is going to replace human minds. The things would be altogether different. And, the real thinking of the student, as you have just highlighted, would be on the hindsight. And the input given by the AI would be taken as authenticity. I would disagree with this point that, of course, AI is one of the tools which can guide you to a limit. But as far as the creativity, the cognitive domain is concerned, we need to go for the wisdom. As we said in the beginning, that the wisdom is also very important. Without your mind input to that document, with whatever you have produced, the quality of that document would be deficient without your own input. And that input which you have highlighted has to be given from your own side. And I tell you, since I am in this field,
but sir, where the creativity goes there?
That yes. Now, once you are not creative mind, and you are depending upon these tools, and I can tell you, your own creativity and your mind would be choked, and you won't be able to go for the usage of mind. And I tell you one example. We tell our students that the human mind is being used by 7.86%. That's it. If we don't choose that, the quality of the mind and the quality of thinking would be reduced. And here comes the concept of AI. Without giving your input and without giving your potent thoughts to that document, you may not be able to fetch the maximum mark. And I tell you one more thing, that there have been gadgetries. They can very conveniently tell you that this student has given his own input or it is based on the AI. So if you are bluffing your own self, that is not justified. I would request your, youngsters especially, that please do use AI. That is a helping tool, but you need to rely upon your potency of your own mind.
Very good. Sir, one more critical question. That is this, that I have come to know that in near future there will be robot teachers, and those robot teachers, they will be more accurate, more efficient, and more agile. So if is there any impact, and when these robot teachers will come, if they will come, and what negative impact they will give on the human teachers?
This is the question which is being asked by many students and many parents currently. But the very simple answer to this question is that the robots are being made by the humans.
By humans.
They have limitation. They will have limitation. They won't be able to be the super one. Of course, their handlers are the humans, and the robots cannot replace the humans. And I tell you one more thing, that the flexibility, the agility which is with the live human cannot be with the robots. And robots, of course, they are going to reduce the workload as far as the calculations are concerned, but the real learning, that may not be possible without the teachers. That robots would definitely would be fed with the calculations which have been given by the humans. But if the thing which I want to tell you is dynamism. That dynamism is not available with the robot. That dynamism is available with the live teacher which is standing in front of the students.
Very good. Sir, recently I have visited so many schools and colleges here in federal capital of Pakistan, Islamabad. And I was quite surprising when I saw that these colleges and schools are not creating the educated people, but they are creating now the entrepreneurs, because students who are getting education and they are becoming entrepreneurs at the same time. For example, a student, he or she is getting education in embroiderment or map reading or this or that, and at the same time they are selling their products on internet, and at the same time they are becoming entrepreneurs. So how important shift it is that our schools and our institutions are not creating only educated people, because in past era we used to say when a student used to get a master's degree and after that he was looking for a job after completing the education, but now it is a very good shift that the students, youngsters who are getting education in schools, and at the same time they are becoming entrepreneurs. So how important it is for our economy, for our youngsters, and for our nation as well.
Entrepreneurship is one of the segment of the latest education. As we know that without livelihood, without earning, the degree won't be able to get good laurels for the student and for their parents. Therefore, there's a need that the degree which they are getting must be benefiting in terms of financial support. And that is the point. That is one of the domain which is being introduced at university level. You might have rightly brought that you have seen different institutions, they are doing it. And they are selling their products in the open market, online and things like that. And that is one of the encouraging point, that the technical education has to play its role, because now the future of general education is being minimized. And especially the people from underprivileged areas and backgrounds, there's a need that their education should start supporting them during their studentship, so that they are not having any burden on account of their financial need for their parents. Therefore, they most of them they are trying to go for those adventures where they can get some livelihood. They are working on internet. They are creating their own websites. They are going to make their own as you said, map reading techniques. They are uploading lectures. They are getting livelihood in such a manner that at least this technical education would be the future prospect for each and every country. And of course, as we said, education is one of the major segment where we need to focus, and we should try that the students should start earning from the very outset.
So what do you think, which subjects would be more important, which subjects will be given more priority in future? Because this dynamics is being changed from time to time. In one era, people used to go towards medicine. After that, they used to go to medicine. Some people now they used to become engineers. After that, there was shift. So, what would be the more important subjects for students in future?
That once I am whenever I am with the students and my lecture is career planning and university placement, this question is being asked by most of the students, and that is very important question. As you highlighted that once we were youngsters, there were only few fields. Like you can go for engineering, you can go for medicines, and you can go for armed forces, and there were few other profiles. But at the moment, we have 72 different engineers departments where a student can join. And that all depends. Once our secondary level, once the students are at secondary level, they need to be guided that if you have got the aptitude to become engineer, you should go for the mathematics. And once they go higher secondary, they are now fully convinced, and they are they are streamlined, and they have narrowed down their options to either become engineers, to become doctors, to become army officers, naval officers, and to go for the civil services. Now at the moment there are plenty of fields available, and the students can be guided with their with their aptitude. And that is very important, that if the student has got a positive aptitude towards one of the field, he or she should be encouraged to go to that area. For example, ICS, we go for ICS, we go for FSC pre-medical, we go for FSC pre-engineering, we go for O-level, we go for A-level. But that all levels and that all standards which have been given by the federal board, by the different educational boards, they are primarily to give the students into a safe future, and they should excel in their own area of interest. And as you have asked, that they have got plenty of areas. Only in medicines, there are plenty of areas. For example, they can go for MBBS, they go for BDS, they go for physiotherapy, they can go for medical technology, they can go for paramedics, and there's a long list. Initially, there was only one list, and that was MBBS. But at the moment, there's a long list. As far as engineering is concerned, they've got 72 fields where they can join hands, where they can, they can try their luck, and they can. As far as the art subjects are concerned, they can, that may not be very fruitful for them, but even then they can go for CSS exam. And as you know, the data, most of the students are from social science subjects. They appear in CSS and they qualify. And social science and natural science, these are two main streams, and they can choose. But, for the Gen Z, I would suggest that they should go for the technical education.
Sir, technical education and technical tools, science and technology is going more and more advanced so rapidly. But I have seen myself, teachers are behind. Students are very forward because they are using that artificial intelligence, this and that. So do you think that so there is not compatibility because our technology is going faster and faster, it is moving on, but our teachers, do you think that teachers need more and more training as well? And who is going to train them?
On the lighter part, you are targeting my teachers. I would I would request that yes, your question is absolutely on the serious note. Your question is very, very important question, because still the time the teachers not aligned, they are not equipped with the latest gadgets, with the latest development in the field of education, might as well they are going to be failure as far as their subject is concerned and their field is concerned. And and the best teachers, especially the teachers, of course, sorry to say, not in the government schools, but in the private sector, the teachers are so well equipped with the latest trends. As far as the teaching is concerned, you'll be surprised that on daily basis, teacher is making the lesson plan for the next day. Much more effort is being put in by the teacher as compared to the student. And I have seen, and there's a very good system which has been made in place, that evaluation of the teachers is being taken place. That is the point of interest for the teacher, that they take due interest to prepare their lesson plan for the following day in order to make sure that the students are imparted quality education. And they are well aware of the fact which you have highlighted, that the students are Gen Z students, they are one step ahead of them, but they are well guarding. And I have seen plenty of teachers, they are well equipped and they are well aware of the fact that they have to be equipped and they have to be more stronger than the students.
But still, teachers need more training.
Absolutely. You are right. Teachers training.
To be more compatible.
Absolutely, because teachers training, that is important. Train the teacher, train the trainer. Train the trainer is a concept, as you have highlighted, that we need to train our teacher. Train the trainer is a concept which has been given by the Federal Educational Directorate, that we need to train the teacher as far as the latest trends in education is concerned. Only then they'll be able to impart quality education.
Very good. So let's come to the another topic, that is defense and security. As you know that one of our biggest enemies, that is Mr. India and Mr. India's mindset, that Hindutva mindset. As we have seen that in 1965, after that once again in 2012, and now again in 2025, India generated that false flag operation, the Pahalgam area of Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. After that, tried to raise fingers towards Pakistan. As usual, it has always been its stance. And after that, India had to bite the dust, and we not only knocked India down, but we also shoot down its 7 air jets. Do you think that India will dare to do such kind of stunt once again, or India got quite enough lesson that no, enough is enough now? We know Pakistan is full of its teeth, so we again will have to bite that dust. Do you think that there is still some kind of threat at any point? Because now India is coming from Afghanistan. First, India used to come from this side, now from that border. So what do you think?
That is a point of concern, that Indian were having their designs, as you said. We fought conventional war with India more than 3 times. And the result of conventional war is, it was obviously there in the global information centers. But in the recent part, in the month of May last year, the defeat which was given to Indians is a matter of concern for all of them. And you might have seen, you are a media person, you know that you are well equipped with the current affairs. You might have heard about their think tanks talking about different strategies. And they are the persons who are having lot many negativities on, and there's a question mark as far as their security forces and the performance of the security forces is concerned. But as you said, that this warfare, which is in the shape of proxy war, they were using eastern border on conventional war. Now they're using western border, and that western border is their proxy. And the proxy war is the most, that is unjustified, unethical warfare, which has been put across. And we all know that this fitna al-Khawarij is being fed by the Indians. There have been plenty of evidences which are available in the international media, and we know that their spying elements are, those were apprehended in Balochistan, and lot many people, those have been given information that this proxy war in with the help of TTP, they are trying to pose against Pakistan. But the resilience on account of our nation and on account of our armed forces is to the optimum. And the war which we are fighting, this is one of the gigantic war, proxy war, which had never been there in the history. For the last around 20 years we are fighting. And you have an example in Sri Lanka, once the Tamils were fighting against Sri Lankan government, and they were given defeat after 20 years. And the age of this proxy is around 15 to 20. And we are at the stage that we have identified the places, the hideouts of those elements which are being sponsored by India, and India won't be able to go for any misventure in future.
Again, inshallah.
And I'm sure, inshallah.
Sir, on one side, Pakistan always wants a peace, tranquility, and we also have proven it to the world that we are peace-loving country. We want peace, tranquility, and even prosperity, not only here in the region, but in the whole world. And all the world is admiring that. But on another side, Mr. Narendra Modi, he always wants war. He wants to dominate other countries, but that is why they have that Akhand Bharat. Their dream is Akhand Bharat. So why is this Hindutva, this extremist mindset over there, and what they want to achieve by this?
A very important question. Mr. Modi, he is trying for cheap popularity. There's no democratic setup in India at the moment,
That is fake democracy.
Yes,
fake secularism.
That is the fake secularism, which is no more. And the world has recognized, world has announced that this India is no more democratic India. They are having Hindutva as philosophy, and the myth, as far as the President Prime Minister Modi is concerned, he is trying to fight against Muslims, and he wants to go for the popularity amongst the Hindu population. And a point is going to come once there's a disintegration in India. Lot many states, they are having this point of view that this Prime Minister, primarily once he came with the flowery agenda, and the people absorbed it and they gave him the votes. At the moment, in the recent past, his popularity graph is coming down to a level which is no more. He'll no more be Prime Minister in future. But having said all this, he is trying to create anti-Muslim, sentiments among the Hindu population, and the world knows that the Sikhs, they are also against this government, Muslims against this government, and the narrative which they are trying to spread in their occupied Kashmir, that is also going to be falsified, and the day is going to come once their agenda and their philosophy and their policies are going to meet the dust.
Sir, being educationist and defense expert as well, ins and outs of defense and education as well. Finally, what is your message to the Pakistani nation in context of defense or security or defense and education as well?
Thank you very much for this very important message. I would just like to utter a few lines. I would request my youngsters that they need to focus on their education. There are, nowadays there are plenty of grey areas as far as, drug addiction is concerned, bad company is concerned, relation with the parents are concerned. I would request them that stay away from all these bad things. Develop good relation with your parents, with your teachers, with your faculty, and stay away from these menace which has been created into the different fabrics in shape of drugs addiction. And as far as security is concerned, I would just give a reminder that armed forces, law enforcement agencies, they are well aware of their duties, and they'll make sure that their security is intact. And they should focus on their education, and they should try that we must become the patriotic citizens of the country. I tell you, nations are always at the high esteem once we go for the patriotic approach. And the patriotic approach is only possible once we go for the best education, we go for the best grooming, we should go for the development of this country. And I can assure you, once we go with this narrative, we'll become the best nation in the world.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Dear audience, give the best to the country and best will return to you. When we give best input, and we definitely will get reward. Thank you, all of you. Allah Hafiz, Pakistan, Zindabad.